Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So we're continuing on doing our little refresher series, and today we're going to look again at Gua Sha. Not going to do a full treatment, just going to show you a little bit on the back. But again, like the last video that we did, we've got the traditional method and then we've got the more techie method, which is the Recover Fun Air Cup. It's got a Gua Sha mode. I do have videos of both of these. So from quite a few years ago, we've got the Gua Sha where I chat through it and do a little demo in the face. And then not quite a year ago, maybe about August, September last year possibly, the Recover Fun Air Cup, where I try it out in its various modes on myself. I found the Gua Sha quite tricky on an arm, so I thought it would be interesting to see how we find it on the back. I have to remind you though that there are so many different videos out there that you can go and research them and find out for yourself. Gua Sha has such a deep history that you really do have to respect it and its uses and how it works. But there are a lot of people out there that are using it for lots of different things that can be really helpful. So sometimes it's for relaxation, that's what we'll do today. Sometimes it's for relief of an ache or a pain. It can be sports massage, it can be physio. You can see the Gua Sha where they use it to get rid of a muscle knot and it goes really red and really, well, it looks as if it's uncomfortable. You've heard some people on the sports massage versions and the physio versions, the person says that it's helping them and they can really feel it releasing, but it's painful. So I wouldn't even dare go down that road unless you know what you're doing. If you're not sure what you're doing, use it for relaxation. So let's use the traditional method, the manual method first, and then let's give the mechanical method a try. So I'll refer back to the video that I did quite a few years ago, and with the tool you can use all of the sides because it's not going to jag you. They call it muscle scraping, but that does sound really severe, but it's basically stretching out and releasing the skin. And for me anyway, I want to do it as a relaxing and a stimulating circulatory or lymphatic, a stimulating treatment. I want it to maybe feel as if it's a deep stretch and a nice firm move, but again, some people will really work at it because they're working for a purpose, so that's not us today. As with everything, I would make sure that I'd warmed up the tissue, so we've already done some effleurage, there's already some oil on the skin, but I would also be working in the movements towards lymphatic nodes. So in the same way that we do our massage, I would want to, for me anyway, be working in the return of lymphatic drainage. Now you can use all the different sides. You can actually work on the skin. You can do a little bit of more stimulating moves. But again, I thought it might just be nice to remind you today, if you've got a Gua Sha tool or you're interested in one, that there are some very simple ways to use it. And it doesn't always have to be intense. It doesn't always have to really redden the skin. But I can see here I'm already starting to get some erythema, but I never know if it's going to pick up on the camera or not. It might not. So I'm not using it on the shoulders, I'm just using it on the lower back at this moment. Imagine if you had lower back pain and it just needed a good stretch. That Gua Sha tool could be perfect for aiding that stretch. But again, you warm those tissues up first with your effleurage. Again, we could do some tapping just to warm it up. If you felt there was anything to be loosened. I'm not going to work on any knots or nodules because I don't feel any and I'm not looking for them, but I can work up. Never working on the spine, I'm working either side. I can fan out to work to where lymph nodes would be located, working out the way. And then again, I can work and drain to the sides of the hips. So a very basic, a very simplistic way of how we can use that Gua Sha implement to really stretch out that back. So now let's try it, the mechanical version. Right, so I've got the air cup. So Gua Sha is the 4th mode, I believe. I'm going to keep it on the lowest. And then we want to make a contact with the skin. And then you can hear it. And we're just working again as you would do with that Gua Sha tool. Now I just wonder if you can see it goes red when we've made a connection and then it stays blue. Can you see that? So red and blue and red and blue, and it alternates, and that's when you know that you're doing the Gua Sha mode. And you're just working along as though you're using that tool. So people might like this if they like a bit of technology. People also might like it if they want something a bit more stimulating. We're using it on the lowest version, so you can imagine you can work up and actually make it far more stimulating. Don't know if you can see here, it will not go red if it's not connecting with the skin, so that's when you know you're doing it correctly. So it will start to go red when, yep, that's it. So we've made that connection. Remember, not on the spine. So that's when you know that you've got it in the Gua Sha mode and it's connecting. So if it doesn't go red and blue, that means that you've not quite made that connection and you're not doing Gua Sha. You might also get your erythema, your stimulation, and it almost feels a bit again like cupping, but it's not cupping, it's on a different mode. But you might see here that because it's more stimulating, you start to see your erythema a little bit quicker. And again, look, no connection, therefore not red. Get my connection. Don't know if you can see it here. Yes, you can. We've got the red. So depending on what you're looking for and your approach to it all, you've got the option of being completely traditional, or you've got the option of taking it down the technology route. But either way, Gua Sha is so effective in stimulating the circulation, the lymphatic drainage, releasing the muscles, toning the muscles. It helps to bring nutrients to the surface. There are so many different things that Gua Sha does, and we should respect it for the treatment that it is. And I would say if you don't know much about it, definitely do your research. They all have their place. And because it's regained its popularity, I would say that the people that have used it traditionally, it's never went away. But as with everything, sometimes something gets rediscovered by the next generation and its profile takes a boost. And for the last few years, that's definitely been Gua Sha. So this seems very easy to use, very simple. It's a lot easier to use in the back than it was on my arm, I can honestly say that. And again, I'll link those older videos so that you can have a look. But overall, that is your two different ways of doing Gua Sha. The traditional method and the more advanced. I say advanced, but I don't mean that as in it's better. What I mean is using technology. So you've got your two different methods of doing it. It's whatever you prefer. It's whatever your budget is as well, to be fair. But again, I'll link everything for you so that you can see it in the description. And I'd love to know if you use any of these tools and how you find it. And other than that, have a great day and I'll see you again soon.